today we're fabbing up some custom irrigation hose adapters using these brass 3-way hose adapters that I got that do not fit the hose that I need. And we're also using a 12-inch nail here. I believe it's galvanized. Start by sawing the head off here. You see what we're left with. Now we move over to the lathe. Starting to get everything set up here. Kind of figuring out the size of the material. Taking some measurements here. Almost lost the camera. Now, as you see, I'm swapping my tooling out here. I'm one of the littler guys to something a little larger. Putting in some shims there, making sure it's centered on the workpiece. Tightening down the tooling itself. Now a little adjustment to the tool post. Put on a bit of an angle, 25-30 degrees-ish. Now kick up that lathe. We're just going to start by facing off the outside edge. Make that nice and flat and concentric. Got a good start there now. We're going to bring in the drill bits. And we got these special lathe bits. I can't actually remember what they're called at the moment. But they're great for starting a perfectly concentric hole in your workpiece. They got a really tiny little tip on them. They kind of widen out really quickly, and then they just remain one size for the rest of the way. Countersink bits, possibly. I don't think that's what they're called, though. Anyway, as you see here, I'm just boring in about, a 1/4 inch or so. Just enough so I can install my live center on there. Now we got some nice stability here to really let her rip. Because this nail has the grooves on it, the spiral grooves, I'm just taking it quite slow here with some smaller bites. Bring down those grooves before we really start attacking the material itself. I'm taking some measurements to make sure that we're going to be as close as possible to what we need. So these adapters have to fit inside the brass tube, then expand to the outer diameter of the brass 3-way connector there, and then get smaller again to fit on my rubber hose for the irrigation. As I'm sure you can imagine, we are feeding a dual line irrigation system with a single larger line. Now you can see me here preparing the drill chuck to accept a regular drill bit, with which we're going to drill all the way through this workpiece here. We're leaving quite thin outer walls on the workpiece, like a couple of millimeters, just enough to get the job done. We want as much water flowing through there as possible, as this is a pretty high pressure system. Making that last cut off there. And boom, we got our piece. Now I got to make 3 more of those. But of course, I don't need to show you that. You've already seen the one get made. We're going to do a little bit of testing here. You can see how those fit right in there, nice and tight. Like a nice good fit. They're not going anywhere, but nonetheless, we're going to move over to the next step. And we're going to secure those in there permanently. So we got the Oxy map torch going here. There's a couple of tricks to getting this thing started just right. So if you do buy one, make sure you look online because there's some good tips out there. Otherwise, you might fight with it. And of course, we got ferrous metal and non-ferrous metal, which usually you can't stick together. But in this case, with brazing, you absolutely can. It's a little tricky because the difference in temperature that the metals need to get to that point of where they'll bond. But we got her done. It's not the most perfect set of brazing, but it's not too bad. And just like that, we've got some custom irrigation hose adapters. That pretty much wraps up this quick video here today. I just kind of wanted to show you some of the stuff I'm experimenting with, and this didn't work perfectly, but that's mostly due to the brazing not being totally perfect. So if I go back in there, just run over it again, give it some more braze, I think it'll be really, really good. It does work as it is, and we have been using it, but it does leak a few drops here and there right out of where the little holes in the braze are. Aside from that, I think this is super cool, and I got a whole bunch more innovation and making stuff that I'm going to show you all. So make sure you stick around, make sure you leave a like on this video, and if you haven't, subscribe to the channel for more. While you're still here, you might as well check out one of these videos because they're related, and I bet you'll like them. Pirates, out.